Hey guys, welcome back. Alrighty, so we just got done killing our dragon, and we are now off to go kill the bandit leader located at Silent Moon's camp. Now, I know I've talked a little bit about milk runs. This is going to be one of them, and it's not the only spot I'm interested in. The reason I like hitting this quest early on, well, for one, we got a quest to do it, but for two, it's manageable. Not only that, there's a couple of looting nests right close around here, so we're going to make out like bandits ourselves. Alright guys, so I took the liberty of warping out outside the city walls here. Now I went ahead and took some time in town to kind of get rid of some of that weight I was carrying around. The dragon scales are now sold, and you know, various other items and whatnot. So make sure you've got some deep pockets when you're going out into the world here on any quest. Alright, now that big campfire there, it's going to be a giant camp. And they normally don't charge at you unless you get kind of close. Now, it's kind of early game for us to be taking on giants, but honestly, I do. If it's your first playthrough, you might want to just kind of forego that for right now, because honestly, there's no real benefit to doing it right now other than the loot. Normally what I do, though, is I go after them for filling up my greater soul gems, and then the mammoths that usually accompany them for grand soul gems. So it's just, you know, right now, you know, killing them, just, I can't fill those soul gems right now, and it's going to be real hard to get these things dead, especially the mammoths with the kind of weaponry we have. Even with the follower, even, you know, if they've got good weapons, even if they've got the flame astronaut, it's still going to be a wild fight. So, what I like to do is try to pick them off one at a time. So what I'm going to try to do is kind of get one's attention from a sneaked position. Get that double damage in while you can. Now, as soon as I enter combat, she should pop that flame astronaut. You might notice I have a different character now, follower, and she's good. She's got good armor on, and, you know, assuming you arm her up well enough, she should be very formidable to help you out in combat. So I gave her that Imperial Bow. She's got that default armor on, so it can't be removed even if you tried. But it's good, you know, solid armor, so good for her. And then I've given her, you know, just stuff I didn't want to carry, but I made sure she had the, you know, any kind of weapon that is enchanted to make sure that she'll pop the Flame Astronaut when I want her to.
Let's get going then.
Alright guys, first thing I'm going to do and pop that guy right in the head. Now I'm discovered. Now that might be because of my Flame Astronaut. Okay, see, I didn't do any damage at all. I mean, I did a little damage, but you know what I mean. It's not like... It's not significant damage. These things are very die-hard kills. So it's probably going to take my follower down. It's probably going to kill both of my Flame Astronauts before we can actually get it dead. Now, the good thing about the Flame Astronauts is that thing takes extra damage while it's on fire. So, you know, it might not be a ton of damage going in at face value, but the fact that that mammoth is on fire is a good thing. Okay, so we got it. Now, notice I picked one off there. So, yeah, my follower got banged up pretty good there, had to take an E. Now, your followers can die, so always save the game before you get into a big fist fight like this. And guys, carry over from my Breath of the Wild walkthrough, arm up, suit up, and eat up. So, arm up, you know, that was a couple of videos ago. Make sure you catch my video on how to craft and enchant and upgrade weapons. Real good time there. But it's going to be a combination of that, arming up, and then suiting up. One thing I kind of forgot to really do and even talk about was putting the time to upgrade the armor. Okay, I got that Mammoth Tusk. That's another quest we can complete now for bring one Mammoth Tusk to whatever her name is. So right now I'm really only focused on these two miscellaneous quests, the Bandit at Silent Moon's camp and the Mammoth Tusk for Ysolda. Alright guys, that thing is pretty heavy too, by the way, that Mammoth Tusk, but while you have an active quest going on that requires it, it will not count against your overall weight. Okay, now the giants are tough to kill, so I should probably pop a flame astronaut here, actually. Okay, and I don't know what bow I was using before, but it should be this bow. Okay, now that thing, it hurts. Sometimes when it really wails on you good, it sends you flying way up into the air, and then by the time you get back down to the ground, you instant die. And I've actually seen my follower die that way too. So yeah, there she goes. How's space, Lydia? Okay, good. I got him to take a knee there. Dude, that was getting kind of hairy, guys. I was getting close there. But here's what I really like about the giants. They always have pelts, and they've always got the giant toe. That combines with wheat to make a super expensive selling potion. Okay, again, continuing with my, methodology of picking them off one at a time. Now, I could keep doing this, but for right now, honestly, I'm going to kind of taper back. That's not really what this video is about. I just kind of wanted to demonstrate. If you did want to engage in this, make sure you've got all the backup, the 2 flame astronauts working for you, the follower, which I don't see her behind me. Okay, now this is a common issue with followers. That's why I'm always saying in my videos, the moment you notice they're not right behind you, find them. Because I'm not, I didn't go run off and do 50 other things right now. So if I need to restart game or reload save point or fast travel or anything like that, I got the space to do that. Okay, so she is with me, so we're good to go. She might have got banged up again and got stuck somewhere taking a knee. And with all these bushes, sometimes they just kind of camouflage themselves in the brush. Alright guys, now before I go to Silent Moon Camps, another thing I want to show you about this area, get all your collectibles, blue mountain flowers. Those combined with tons of other stuff are real good, expensive selling, elixirs. So, between the blue butterflies, the flowers and whatnot that you can pick. But most importantly, what I'm here for right now, mud crabs. This is where I'm going to switch it up and go to my soul's bow. Reason being, this fills up your petty souls. Not only that, we need the chittens for crafting potions, again, that you can sell. Okay, so that structure, I don't know if you guys can see it through the channel, but there's a castle kind of like right in front of me. So I'm going to sidestep these giants, and this is where my mud crabs are. It's not really water, it's kind of like dried lake beds or whatever. Looks like... oh, maybe that's where my follower wound up running off to. Sometimes if they get engaged by another enemy or something, they'll actually run off and chase them until they die. So, she might have been just fine. She might have just been killing stuff for me. Okay, don't forget about your farmables here. Oh, let me back out of that. Somebody reached out and told me if you want to speed this process up, you can actually equip the pickaxe, which I knew you could do, but I've just never actually tried to farm that way. So I'm going to play with that a little bit here, do a little experimentation. Okay, I got silver ore. I got amethyst. Okay, so I didn't hear... that kind of threw me off a little bit because I didn't hear the tapping sound it normally makes. But yeah, it was still working, so I guess if you just go in there and start swinging away like crazy, it will... actually, it's still... okay, there it goes. So yeah, a nice little tip. So I just want to give a special shout out to Cody Golden Boy 6637. I think I got all that in stuff and numbers right. That's the one that tipped me off to that little tidbit there. So definitely appreciate that. As long as I've been playing this game, in fact, that's probably something I tried to do, and I didn't hear any kind of graphic there or anything happening, so I didn't maybe think it was working, and I didn't just keep swinging at it. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Definitely appreciate that. Alright guys, Enough fooling around here. Get back to collecting soul gems. Now be careful that you don't... You know, up until a certain point, I don't care if I... what's happening here? Okay, I don't care if I fill up some lesser, if not all lesser soul gems with petty. So, you know, once your petty fill up, I've got 11, so I've got a buffer, but once those fill up, it'll roll into the lesser, which is fine because I only use those to craft the dummy stuff anyway for increasing levels and selling. So yeah, as soon as I start getting the lesser full though, and my petty, then I'll taper back on doing this kind of stuff with, say, mud crabs. Okay, I think that's it for mud crab trouble here. You can see the castle on my compass now finally lighting up. And it's a pretty big complex, so this is probably going to take a minute to get through. But it's worth it. You know, it's got some good lootables in there. Not only that, the stuff around there and on the way, it just all kind of makes up for a real good loot route. I should have another crab in here somewhere. 2 crabs. Booyah. Oh, and these things hurt too. You might think, oh, it's just a crab, no big deal. They will kill you! And they will kill you fast. Normally I attack these things from a distance, but I'm just kind of like whatever right now. I feel, you know, confident with all the backup that I brought. Okay, make sure you're grabbing these things. You need 20 of those for a quest later on. And I've been cooking with them like a real genius. So that's going to bite me in the butt later. So what I would normally do in a playthrough is avoid doing that. And as soon as I get 20, then I'll start cooking with the excess from there. Ah, cool. Wolves. More gemstones. Assuming my followers don't kill them first. Stand still so you can die. Ah, well. I almost got a lucky shot there, but I was aiming a little too low. So it's kind of challenging for me to get used to the third-person aiming. I'm normally in first-person mode, so this is pretty new to me right now. It's been a long time, really long time, since I did some playthrough in third-person. So, you know, as I get used to that different motion that happens when I'm zooming in and aiming and stuff, I tend to pay too much attention to my character and not on my cursor. So it'll come back, you know, it'll be a couple of days or so, but it'll definitely come back. Oh, by the way, you run faster if you have all your weapons stowed. Okay, always take your pelts. We're going to use those for crafting and leveling as well. Okay, wait, that isn't the castle I was thinking of. These are not the droids you're looking for. I got myself all sorts of turned around. I wasn't even going toward my quest marker. Alright, guys. Apologies there. I got a little sidetracked with shiny rocks and totally started going the wrong direction. So that's where we're heading there, due north. And again, I like to approach this from the Giants camp. So it's kind of like the front door. But if I try any other way, it tends to just kind of gum up the works. So what I'm going to try to do is pick one off without being discovered. And to do this, make sure your Flame Astronaut isn't out and your followers is already despawned. And then I'm going to take a knee here to the left as I start getting a little bit closer. Now there's a guy hiding in like an igloo looking stone building. And it's got a doorway on the front and back, but it's kind of tight. Real tough to see him that he's even in there. Okay, he's normally in that little stone structure right in front of me, but I'm not seeing him right now. So that means he's out of field of view. Now, careful, if you get too close... Okay. I don't know what he's doing out here. He must be engaged with something else. Okay, so that's different. And now he sees me, so that's not fun. Okay, so they were actually both out there. That's normally not the way it's going to go down here. So normally you'll be able to kind of catch these guys off guard. I just had bad luck there with them already being outside the walls. Oh, am I missing him? There we go. But look at the attack power on these bows, guys. Remember how hard bandits were to kill not long ago? I'm pretty much one-shotting them right now, two-shotting at most. Pretty freaking awesome. Okay, now there's going to be more, and one of these guys wields magic. And he really hurts. So, yeah, get him from a distance. Alright, so normally you'll have somebody right over here, and then normally the other one is usually standing up there somewhere. You know, sometimes right around that door, sometimes he's wandering around a little bit. But like I said, you can pick one off and then pick the other one off, and then it starts getting hairy. So ideally, that's the scenario you're going to want when coming in here. Now that one I just took out is normally up here at the cooking area. So sometimes he's sitting real still and you won't even know he's there. So take a real good look and you can usually sneak strike him as well. Okay, now there's another little hornet's nest up there right at the top, so this is probably a real good save that game moment. Actually, before I go deep diving, I'm going to take a quick peek around for goodies. I did not mean to pick up a freaking bucket. Okay, so yeah, as soon as you get, you know, real close or somewhere around the stairs, start crouching. Now you're probably going to want to pop a flame astronaut here. And hopefully your follower will too. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and bump the bow up here to my frost. You might get lucky and get a sneak strike. Okay, I'm not seeing them through the windows and stuff, so I'm gonna go around to the right. Okay, they already kind of hear me because I just heard him activate his shield. Okay, that one with the mage right there, make her your priority. Okay, as soon as the mage is dead, it's usually easier sailing after that. That mage is really the one that is going to be trouble. Alright guys, now you can actually kill your follower with your own arrows, so be careful about this. You know, that's why I say save the game a lot. A lot can go wrong here. You can die, or the follower can die, just, you know, a number of things. The game can glitch. So, you know, anytime you get into a real big fist fight, always put a save down. Hard save. And I think I even forgot to do a hard save before coming in here, so I'll just have to let the one that I put down before I started recording be good enough. Okay, now so once you've made your way to the top, that's pretty much it for outdoor trouble. You're free to move about the cabin. You can relax here a little bit. And there's usually some pretty good loot here. Okay, I've already got frost, and honestly for the weight, that's not going to sell good enough to carry all that weight around, so I'm just going to... Or you know what, maybe I'll give it to the follower for now, and then if we fill up, I'll dump it. Yeah, we'll try it. Okay, now this is a book that kind of tells you how to use the Lunar Forge. In a nutshell, it'll put fire damage on the weapon. Don't forget your bump book there. And I already read that one apparently, but in case you haven't, that'll bump your smithing skill there. And always take those because you can sell them to the mages. See, anyway, you can craft the lunar stuff, but the attack power bonus on it, the flame damage, it only works at night when the moons are out. So I just don't like it. You know, if you're going to do anything, just go ahead and put flame damage on the thing. And forget about the whole silent moons, whatever. Alright guys, now there's some more loose lootables out here. Take your time to get all the flowers, all the goodies, especially the blue mountain flowers. Matter of fact, I'll take a quick loop here, make sure I'm not missing anything to pick. And this is actually where we're going to exit. So you can't open this door from this side. There's like a lever or something inside that you have to flip, and then that door will come up. For right now, the way in is through the front door. And always crouch when you enter a structure and have your weapon readied. You never know what's going to be on the other side of that door to greet you when you go in there. And once again, make sure your follower is right behind you.
Oh.
Alright, been a while since I've been in this one. Okay, I definitely got a baddie in there. Okay, sometimes you can even one-shot them before they even know you're there. So that's why I'm always kind of like looking around corners and stuff. You can really get a good field of view if you take your time and do that. Another reason to always stay crouched is it levels your sneak. So as soon as you start getting within range of enemies, that sneak skill starts bumping up. Alright guys, moving right along. We are not done yet. I know the music kind of sounded like we were cleared. Whoops, I totally forgot about that dude. Hey buddy! You did. I don't think I have any tomatoes yet. Ooh, amethyst. Nice. I don't remember a depth being this difficult. And again, I'm only at 21 on my lockpicking skill, so yeah, that's probably about right. Alright, so I think that's it for bad guy trouble for right now. Anyway. You know, these shields actually sell pretty good, but, you know, 12 pounds isn't nothing, so I have a feeling I'm going to have to shed some of this before the day is done. Don't forget all the goodies, all the potions. Lunar Steel Mace. So, yeah, they don't even sell good. Like, I just don't even carry them for selling normally, but I definitely need the gold, so I'm going to take out of here what I can and sell it. Maybe even disenchant one, I don't know, see how I feel about it. But I know I'm never going to enchant with it, so the only reason I would even do that would be to bump the enchanting up just a little bit, because every time you disenchant something, that does count toward your enchantment skill. Alright guys, I think I'm pretty much through in here.
Huh?
But we're not done looting yet. Not by a long shot. Okay, now make sure your follower follows you out of here. Can't tell you how many times I've gotten them stuck right there in that room. Alright, so just to show you on the map where we are at, there's our Silent Moon's camp, so now I'm going to head dead west. And you'll see exactly why here in just a moment. Now, sometimes I'll find bears or saber, tigers, whatever, and sometimes I'll see free-roaming mammoths. So, you know, feel free to grab them if you want them. I'm going to kind of hold off until I get some grand soul gems to fill up. And greater soul gems if I start seeing giants. I might get my hands on those sooner than you think too. That's really why I'm leaving them alive. Everything in Skyrim has a respawn rate, but that's always randomized. So, you know, they might respawn pretty quickly, But on the flip side, you could be waiting a really long time for that entire area to reset. Okay, now so before you go deep diving, okay, so what I'm doing is heading right over there. You see on my compass there, that little funny upside down U-shaped structure thingy that's blackened out. That's where I'm going. It's kind of like right over there. But beforehand, you got some mining to do. Oops. Careful not to soul trap your follower. They don't take too kindly to that. Alright, back to the Soul's Bow. You guessed it, more mud crabs. Just for a moment, I'm gonna... see how my aiming is when I first person things. I just noticed I have my alchemy thing on. Okay, so yeah, my aim is definitely better, so I definitely need to practice third person. I'll just try to kind of like mentally tune out the character being there, and maybe that'll do it. Maybe there's just like a mental thing there. Yeah, actually that helped out a lot, just that little... just kind of forgetting to look at the character. Now I gotta remember to do that every time I take the bow out. Alright, so that's pretty much it for Mud Crab City here. Now you might want to take a quick look at your petty soul gem inventory and see how many empties you got left. Because right up here where this thing is, there's 3 more skeletons that you can pick off for... more petty soul gems. Okay, only 2 left, so I'm good. And then I got, you know, plenty of lessers still to go, so rock and roll. Now the reason I really like coming here is the free lootables. So right here, you guys already know from a few videos ago just how valuable this hanging moss is. So booyah, go ahead and grab you your hanging moss. Now don't go into the cairn. This can cause problems later on when you get a quest here, so just stay out of the cairn for now. We'll come back here in time. Okay, so make sure you're getting all these free lootables here. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. That was not it. Some more around the rim there. Yeah, almost missed 2. Wow, glad I took a second look. Each one is well worth its weight in gold. Ooh, cool moon. So guys, I talk a lot about the graphics in this game. When you're playing on your own TV, this stuff is going to look so much better. I know you guys have said in comments, you know, the video quality looks just fine, but there really is a difference. And, you know, it's probably minute, but seeing the 2 screens side by side, it's a difference, noticeably. So, you know, it's sharper and the colors pop more. Now you can actually change TV settings, you know, with the colors a little bit, like put it on dynamic or one of the other presets and see how everything looks. And some are going to pop more than others. So, you know, when I play Skyrim, I like to put my TV on what's called dynamic fixed. And oh my gosh, guys, like, it's unreal. The colors and the graphics that just come through in such an old video game. You can see the Milky Way pop. You can see stars pop. These planets. You can see features on the surfaces of these planets. It is mind-boggling. Through the channel, you're not going to see any of that, unfortunately. Alright, so enough about graphics. So I mentioned the skeletons. Now I want that butterfly that I just saw. So I'm going to have to pick these skeletons off now. Now one's got a bow and arrow. And I'm going to try to do this quickly before my follower kills them. Okay, I don't know where customer number 3 went. He might have come around to try to get us. Yeah, I see the red dot that way. Oh. Yeah, he was hidden. Haha, I missed. That's okay. Alright, so these normally don't have anything good. It's all ancient, you know, weaponry and whatnot. But I always check them anyway for arrows or just, you know, sometimes they'll have a gemstone. Or sometimes they'll even have a an amulet. And those amulets are really tough to come by when you really need them. So I always take the time to check like Droger and skeletons, because you never know what kind of goodie they might be hiding. Look at that, amethyst. Speaking of the devil, and an amulet. Booyah, baby. Now that's the one we need to get married. Guys, I do things in my game as they happen when it makes sense. So I'm going to go get married to my new follower, like ASAP. Reason being is she's going to start a store. The only thing I don't know about is if I have to have the house bought yet or not. But one way or another, she's going to have a store, and she's going to give you free money every couple of days or so. You can keep talking to her and just getting free gold. And it's awesome, and that gold increases as you level. So, yeah, she definitely comes with fringe benefits. Okay, there was that butterfly I saw from topside. Okay, so speaking of free lootables, there's flowers around here. You guys probably already saw me pick a few nightshades. It's nighttime, which is really awesome, and I'm getting these Luna moths. Oh yeah, there's a fun Skyrim glitch. Insects can fly right through structures. Oh, he came out to say hello. I totally forgot he was even here. Okay, I don't even know if I can trap his soul. He might be too powerful. If he's higher than lesser, then... Okay, I got lesser, so I'm good. He was lesser. Anyway, so yeah, insects and stuff, they can fly right through trees, walls. It's a great time. And sometimes if you wait just a minute, you know, they'll kind of pop back out and start flying around again, but I think I lost that one. Alright, so he pops out of this door. Normally it doesn't happen until you get real close, so I must have just gotten a little bit too close for comfort there. That's okay. He's kind of like the boss of the area. And right next to him there's going to be a freaking master lock, and guys, this is going to make you break some lockpicks. So you might want to save the game before attempting that lock. Now notice I just got another free lootable there, and that's always going to be some kind of an enchanted armor piece. Never have I been here before and has that not been enchanted. Never have I ever. Now notice I'm overweight.
Still here.
That slows you down painfully slow.
I am sworn.
So I'm going to dump some of my excess off into the follower here. That battle axe always comes to mind. So I usually go from weapons to apparel to misc. Firewood, if I'm still carrying that. Now you need to keep one firewood in case you come across someone who's asking for it. To fulfill your Thane obligations when the time comes. Alright, good enough. Moving right along. So this master lock, guys, the sweet spot is insanely small. So this is going to be a very challenging lock, especially if you're new to the game. Best advice I can give you is map where you're putting your lock pick, you know, on the picture of the lock or whatever. So I usually use these bolts here. There's one there, there's a bolt there. So I kind of use those as guides. So what I'll start doing is kind of like test it at the top. That's no good. I'll go to the other bolt, test, no good. Go to the other bolt, test, no good. Then I'll kind of hit the in-betweens of all those points. No good. I'll hit the other in-between. Okay, now I got some traction there. Not much. So I'm going to go, now again, you know, try to map exactly where that is on the picture. Now, I know for sure this isn't going to come through in the video, but I'm looking at a little white dot that's just to the left of my lockpick. So I'm going to rest it right on that spot. That's where I was. So I'm going to use that little white spot to kind of, you know, gauge whether or not I'm going the right way. Just a little bit now. It's a master lock, so it's not going to take much movement to know whether or not you're going the right or wrong way. So that jiggling got worse, and I'm going to go back to where that thing was resting on that white dot. Then I'm going to go a little bit more that way and kind of see where I'm at. Okay, that just broke. So now right back over to that white dot. I'm going to keep going from that spot I just broke the lockpick at. Try again. Now if it starts getting worse, I know I went too far. It's still getting better, so I'm in good shape here. Booyah. Alright, nothing great. You know, it's always hit and miss with chess, guys. It's always randomized. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the little round robin there. Make sure you're double scanning, you know, for the lucrative flowers, so we can get those potions crafted, get some money, and then we can go get our house bought. Now, before I actually cut video, I'm going to take another quick peek around, and always, always, always take the time to grab your ore, just to kind of show you relative to where we just were. That's where we killed all the skeletons and stuff. So just kind of, you know, step out from that area to the right slightly. And along this little mini ridge line, you'll see the ore. Okay. Awesome timing for the moon being out right now for those Luna Moth wings. And last but not least, now normally when you see water, you're going to see one of those there somewhere. So anytime you see water, go take a quick peek. Not always, but you know, it's always worth just a quick second to go take a look. Alright guys, at some point you're going to see, and they'll even approach you the first time that you make contact with them. They're going to ask you, you know, for your attention or whatever. What I did is I backed out, so that's why they're both just kind of standing there. That's a separate video, so I'm going to do that whole quest line, you know, later on. So for right now, there's absolutely no quest involved. I just wanted to let you guys know why you're going to be seeing these two dudes standing here for like the foreseeable future of my game. And I like to cut that off at 7 a.m. and then wait just, you know, a few seconds for the NPCs to all get up and out of their beds, and I'll pass time 1 or 2 more times until I see them start to populate the area. Okay, you saw that guy just like completely was not there and then he was there. So that's what I mean. Sometimes just doing one more hour jump there will get them where they need to be super fast.
Once I've made enough money.
Okay, so first things first, go ahead and get rid of that Mammoth Tusk, and that'll get us a little bit of goodies here. You got your speech increase, not a bad deal. Okay, we made friends with that vendor, so take the time to farm the garlic. We're going to combine those with juniper berries for a whole bunch of dummy potions here in a little bit. I've got almost 3,000 gold, and we need 5,000 to buy that house. So that milk run probably didn't do it. It'll get us close, but I won't know until I get all these potions crafted up. Okay, so go ahead and talk to the steward here, and that'll clear that bandit quest.
Excellent.
And it's not much, you know, 100 gold. Early game, you're not going to get much gold for doing this stuff. There it is, guys. There's the home purchasing dialogue option right there. So, yeah, we're going to go out and do another milk run, then we're going to come back and we're going to buy a house. So now that's a problem in the meantime. We got to keep an eye on our weight, because our followers getting full and we're getting full. So that you know, being said, what I am going to do is go sell off some easy sell-off stuff that I don't have to really think too hard about. And I can also do some disenchanting here real quick. Okay, so definitely get rid of that. Notice every time you do this, it bumps that enchanting up. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Got rid of a whole bunch of weight there. Alright guys, hope that helped you all out. I'm actually going to cut video here. Reason being, I kind of wanted to do a separate video just for like this little method of mine for getting, you know, leveling done and crafting and whatnot. So I'm actually going to do that just completely off to the side. So folks, I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helped. If you enjoyed the video, please take a moment to like, share, subscribe, and comment. It's always appreciated. Until the next time, best of luck and happy hunting.